Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good happy, and welcome to a bit of Vampyr. So I apologise for the audio quality of the previous session. Hopefully it'll be a bit better now. I have turned it up. If I just
thank you.
I just back out this. I find audio editing is a pain in the ass sometimes, I really do. So I've put it up to 9. Hopefully it is a bit better. This is an ongoing process, so if it's too loud, I really do apologise. So yeah, that's the situation.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
No capital G for God, no apostrophe for S. Sorry. A bit of a stickler for things. I'm not even religious, but still.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Like us, sleep is dangerous.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Really answered the question though, did it? Oh. Yeah, it's still bad.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Thank you. I will say, I'm very happy with how polite characters are in this game. The manners are superb. And much like in Ripper Street, where people did sort of spoke with the authenticity at the time, except it's not as distracting here. Yeah, I quite like it. I think they've done a really good job. No, the old log is not that way. We have to go in through the building, we have to go through this way, I believe. Do we go through this way? And if the vampires are respawned, even better. How do I get to the old bloody mall? So anyway, as a bit of a recap, so in the previous part, excuse me, respiratory tract infection is what I've got, not just the cold. So, in the previous part, our character Jonathan Reid, Dr. Jonathan Reid, was embraced by a vampire, and yes, had to find the one who caused him to become a vampire, which in turn caused him to attack his beloved sister Mary. And yeah, he was originally coming back from the trenches of the First World War to see his ailing mother, but alas, has not been able to do that. He has since been employed by Pembroke Hospital by a gentleman who knows of his affliction and believes that they can help one another. As I mentioned as well, he is a very accomplished surgeon whose work in blood transfusions is renowned the country over.
It's locked.
It's locked. I have this thirst for blood. The door has this thirst for blood. Yummy, yummy, yummy!
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Okay. So we're not the only vampire. We're not the only vampire in town. These are Skulls, these are lesser vampires. More feral kind.
I cannot enter.
Oops.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Balls of Mars. Look at that. See, I'm absolutely fascinated by the medicine of this era. When I was in high school, one of my mates at the time was doing like the history of medicine, and it sort of covered this period. And I regret so much not taking that. Christ, it would have done me more good than the IT I was doing at the time. Oh dear. But yeah, history I was absolutely fascinated by, and I studied modern world history in high school. And yeah, around the year of the First World War.
It's locked, all right.
Spooky, scary goings on. So, I'm just making sure that I've covered everywhere before we descend to the basement. Like how they say down. It's a basement. Down. I'll do the damage, then I'll expend blood to try and probably. And I'm back to a corner, so probably not the best idea to be here.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Nice if Dr. Reid kept a diary of his own. Because then we could keep notes. Of our discoveries rather than having to rely on other accounts. Use our vampire vision as well to detect people nearby. Objects of interest. that sort of thing. Use the Liston knife. Blood absorb, okay. Equip it and press Y to directly absorb blood. Ooh. Long and sharp surgical knife. So it attacks at the same speed. But it absorbs more blood. It does, however, reduce stun damage. So I probably will stick to the other one. But still. So. Officer Pembroke Hospital Medical Examiner. Report of investigation. Dissident? Or decadent? Samuel Connor. Race? Caucasoid. Right. Sex, male. I've never heard that type before. Sex, male. Age, 39. Home address, unknown. Occupation, fisherman. Cause of death, natural. Probable cause of death, fast progressing pneumonia by virus-induced pulmonary consolidation, Spanish influenza. Examination attendees, Dr. Corcoran, Tippett, Nursworth, Brannigan. Name and signature, a medical examiner, Dr. Corcoran, Tippett.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Oh. Ooh.
It's locked.
It's locked, and it has this thirst for blood. Turn into a fucking Birmingham vampire now. Not gonna lie, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just wandering around, hoping I find more loot. I was like, I was like, I got it. Yeah, the blood gain from this isn't really worth it compared to stunning the fight. So maybe it gets better with use, but otherwise, I'm replacing that with the stun.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
I will say that as much as I like the medical side of this game, they have, I will say now, they've nailed, or dare I say staked, the vampire aspect so incredibly well. They genuinely have, so as you can see, I have to jump up there because that way it's blocked. Yeah, they've done such a brilliant job of doing the vampire thing, and how Reid is having to succumb to his nature. So, I can now, well, I soon be able to create, oh yes I can. I can make fatigue remedy. So I need to. Let's recycle some of these components. So a bottle of alcohol, and a cigarette case. It loads. Damn, I can't make another one. I have to choose who I'm going to. That's it. Now, when you kill people or when you have these different things, you can analyze them for new serums. So I currently can't make either of these, but this is like a blight blood serum, so it gives me 60 blood points instantly. And this regenerates 300 health instantly, then 150 health points over 15 seconds. Another formula here. Oh, and we've learnt even more formulas. The treatment for cold, bronchitis, pneumonia. And you can see their symbols are different. You can also upgrade our weapons as well. I can't really do it just yet. Is it really worth upgrading my stake though? I want to do it, but is it worth doing? Because we're still early into the game. I might have to look that up. Sorry about that, I'm just making sure that we are still recording, because I know this game likes to ask me about... Well, no, it's not really bad, so the game asks me about OBS did. But even then it might have well been my fault. So yeah. Oh, balls. I should have drained them for blood. Because I have this thirst for blood. I'm just trying to sneak because... I can stun them without bother. I can get them blood. Stun him again. Some more blood. Pull yourself up. Oh yeah, the resource economy is fairly good. You're not using so much blood that you feel like you're constantly in need of it after using your powers, and your powers are powerful enough that it's worth the consumption of blood. But I also like as well that Yeah, your descent into vampirism is greatly rewarded. Hunt for skulls. Any about? If there were, they would have revealed themselves by now. Gentleman named Thomas Elwood. Oh, of course, yes, they're patients, okay. Can we go anywhere from here? Nope. It's alright then. Right, let's get back inside the hospital.
I cannot enter.
The daily routine.
Oh, look at my quest. What am I going to do? Come on, where's my quest? Look. Pharmacy.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reid.
Thank you.
This game's running really slowly lately, I don't know why. Like, they should not take time to load. I think it's crashed.
Good
Why is-
evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid. Can I be of any help?
Goodbye,
Just-
Dr. Strickland.
That's Dr. Strickland, so he's not the one I need.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls? When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay. So this gentleman here, as you can see here, he's got fatigue, which reduces his blood quality. So we need to treat his fatigue, and in turn his blood quality will increase. That means we get more XP upon feeding upon him.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reid, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
So now his blood quality has gone up to 500, so in the next day he will have fully recovered.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me. You always...
Remember, Citizen's Blood will provide you a massive XP boost. Look for citizens of your mesmerized level and below and choose wisely. Problem is that makes the area more dangerous. but you do get more XP. So the game is harder if you resist the urge to feed on people. Dr. Aykroyd. There's an unknown person here.
My blood and soul.
It's locked, all right.
The life running in your veins.
It's so lucky to have Dr. Reid, you know. I met him in New York.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Where's the good doctor gone? Ah, Clay.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reid. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
You're a monster, Mr. Cox. An ungrateful and disgusting man.
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reid. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude. Oh, I like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reid. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
The police may be slow, but they will find you eventually.
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then? Nah, Doc, I figure you have something to hide so you can't ask the coppers for help.
How long?
I know this shit.
The police may...
Well, how come you didn't turn...
I'll leave you.
Oh, we've failed a hint. But getting the hints improves blood quality.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reid.
I cannot enter.
I think this, Mr. Cox needs to, have a chat with Mr. Oswald. Down by the canal. Now where's he fucked off to? Tippett's just the man I want to see.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Doctor.
Evidently not. Can't ask him about it, so... Oh, hello, there's someone else here. Nope, can't talk to them yet. Where is Mr. Cox?
Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you.
As soon as I can. That treatment. I think I will cure him.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nope.
Goodbye.
I think the only thing I can do right now is actually progress the main story. Get some experience. And go from there.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
About the hospital.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community.
Oops, sorry. Let's check the time.
Community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
No conditions.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
We'll see each other again soon.
Warning letter. Pembroke Hospital, 23rd of October. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservations concerning the Dr. Thoreau Strickland and Harvey excuse me, Fiddick case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. I do apologize. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that a surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I say it may also sever its functions for good if complications arrive. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such a risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you forbid him to perform such a hazardous experiment. A species of vampires. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklores into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material. For example, we must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals based on what we know and what we have gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider the vampire was a vernacular term for what we had learned to call econ, until the day four explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkods were a lupine type of vampire. We consider these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf. Now we know it is not true. What about the rest? What about the Rakshasa from my homeland? What about the Chinese Jiangxi, or the Putian of southern Chile? And, without even leaving the beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories of bad-shaped women sometimes seen flying around St. James's Church in Louth? What about the creature only identified as a disaster in some obscure testimonies, which tried to destroy London in 1666 by spreading plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical creature, mythical figure of the restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British icons as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed among the mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we could find, only if we could forget for a few minutes what we're supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Toltree, Primate of St. Paul. Letter to Reka Shadana. Letter of Shadana. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it's opened. As I have already told you, I was a doctor during the war, and will be glad to serve my country again. I know it is not the same as being a physician for the dead as it is for the living, but I believe it important to welcome and take good care of our departed too. Rest assured I will do my best to fully perform this new duty to the best of my ability. Concerning the question of my qualifications, I'm sorry I can't give you anything more valuable than my parole. I swear to you that my regiment made me a doctor during the war, and that I saved many lives. If my word is not enough, you can contact the military administration to verify my experience and skills. They will confirm that even if I have never followed any medical studies, the war taught me what a doctor really needs to know. Always sincerely, Rakeshinara, former doctor. Any more stuff here? I believe then. We've got to excuse ourselves. Let's go talk to some people.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid. Can I be of any help?
Rumors of blackmail?
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Dr. Reid, may I help you?
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
I will say I do like the character model here, with all the covered in blood, when we're just engaged in casual conversation. It really does lend a sense of a greater gravity to the idea that here we are just asking simple questions, and this person is looking clearly impatient with us as we're trying to interrogate them while they're trying to work.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reid, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Any news about my operation?
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No. Nothing.
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No.
I have to...
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reid, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Goodbye, Miss.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
Were the other patients in there? Ah, yes. I need to speak of Rakesh. Dr. Rakesh, rather.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Well, let's have a look. Oh, he doesn't have the... No, he doesn't sell those.
Good evening.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reid. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reid. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Please.
Of course.
Yeah. I know the game has got to try and make some antagonism, but sometimes it just falls a bit flat.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Good evening.
You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air.
Yeah, could you say it a bit louder, Reid?
I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
We both are afflicted with a thirst for blood, Lady Ashbury. That is our nature. By vocation, we also have reason to visit the hospital. Logic dictates.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reid. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay, so someone's been blackmailing Lady Ashbury. We have to find out who's been spreading nasty rumors. This lady here, whose room will just happen to be unlocked.
It's there again.
Sappho. Royal Garden Hall Theatre. Clyde Fitch presents Rose Fletcher. Sappho. Well. Right.
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reid, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Shut up.
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
Right, that's not what I was expecting from this game, but
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. Miss Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
So my best bet's probably actually to look indoors.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Yeah, I think it's the ambulance driver. Who has suddenly ducked away. I know, he's in his usual corner, I believe.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses?
I've never
time.
heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Try and play as once again.
Have you seen a...
I've never heard...
Goodbye.
Dorothy Crane with the next best.
With you and our son, Dr. Reid, I know the Temple will prevail and survive. You always knew the words to calm the children, Colonel. As for me...
What must I do? What must I do? This isn't even my neighborhood.
Don't worry, you're safe.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
She's gone. Just excuse me 1 second, please. Right.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
So I think we'll do this bit and maybe take a break. I'm gonna say, as I said before, this is gonna be a very ploddy game where little progress can happen each part if I'm spending about an hour and a half each part going forward.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Especially with all the side quests. Now, it's obvious that that's the way to go. But It's over this way. That was bad. I hope I haven't killed the civilian by doing that. Oh. Did I get both of them? What's the alarm good? Right, you can see that.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Thatcher the Blood Snatcher. Guns reloaded. So if you leave civilians too long, they might die the following night, so it's ideal that you're sort of doing everything you can within the current night. Oh dear, that's the exit. It's not where I want to be. No, Pickle. No. Let's go back in the shop. Just realised the bottom right of my screen is actually covering up some information. My abilities, my left and right abilities. Left and right trigger abilities, bumper abilities rather. So I do apologise for that. It's not overly important, it doesn't really tell you much, but still. Can't seem to break through. So the skull over there. Ban of the Dragon. Concerning the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stone, I would advise our members to be very wary about these so-called scholars. Yes, indeed, most of them are affable and very respectful when they approach us, but it would be quite unwise for a discreet circle like the Escalon Club to foolishly speak about our goals, our members, or our traditions. I would also like to remind our fellow members that the Brotherhood itself is ancient enough to have some mysterious traditions. One of them, according to some informants, could be called the ritual of the so-called Ban of the Dragon. It seems that in certain conditions, when the Brothers of St. Paul find a violent or bloodthirsty mortal, they call upon him this ban. What it is exactly? I don't know. Does it really exist? I don't know for sure either. But what I've established as facts, it is that whenever a hostile or vindictive vampire has threatened London, it disappeared without a trace after the Brotherhood had pronounced the ban upon him. The loyal Fergal Bancher himself has never been so foolish enough to openly provoke the Brotherhood. This is a lesson we must all remember. Never be considered a dragon by the Brotherhood. From The Law of Ascalon, by Lord Redgrave, founder. That's cool. I'd like limited teleportation ability in real life. That would be my superpower, I think.
What sort of creature is this?
I have gone prepared to be God. Oh, I forgot it's a revolver. No speed loading for me. So, one mechanic I will highlight is that the more times you try to stun someone, the more you require, the more damage you have to do to stun them.
But I should anyway.
So you have a blood sample that I need to take. Is there anything else here I need to explore? I do love solar balls. Let's see. Oh, the thug. See. So yeah. So, it's Crane's Voucher. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothea to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions asked. Just find Darius Petrus's house and present this coupon. And following that, I don't know what language that is.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Yeah, so the more times you stun someone, the harder it gets to stun them afterwards. So consecutive times. So you have to be really careful about what abilities you're using. and what types of abilities you're using. Like you saw there, the sewer beast was resistant to blood attacks, so I was using my shadow abilities to do damage, and my gun. Common barbed cudgel. Oh god damn. Another one. Oh, it's a two-handed one, okay. Stun 15. Nice. But I don't think it's 200 weapons. Where are my dual weapons? Dual wielding is cool, but in so many games it's like it really is cooler than it is powerful. There are too many drawbacks to using dual wielded weapons. Especially things like accuracy. It's either way too powerful or it's way too weak. Like I saw it in like Destiny, when Destiny was first coming out, or Destiny 2 was coming out. People asked, when are we going to get, like, if we get dual-handed weapons, wouldn't it be cool? It's like, yeah, there's just one problem with that. Hand cannons are too powerful. You can't have two hand cannons. And the game just be okay with that. It's like, no, you will take too much chance. Am I too high level to be, sorry, too low level to be around here? Yeah, so I'm going to try and stay away from the higher level enemies. They will be back. By the full mini evening, we can find them then. Oh, nice. That's good. Tuna, good.
It's locked.
Anything else I can loot? Yeah. Oh yeah, you really have to hug the walls in this game. Like in Doom. Or Duke Nukem. Press yourself up against it, just hope to God that it reveals some cake. I mean, that's how my partner and I met. Crumbled letter. I'm tired of your shit, Clay. What the fuck did you do? All the bloody docs are gossiping about how my husband has just got that stupid kid. How many times did I tell you to count to 20 before drawing your blade? How do you expect to do business and have people obey if you just keep killing everyone who dares cross you? Now, rumour says some blokes from the dead family are looking for you, and one of them even swore to kill you. Don't come home tonight. I see strange men patrolling the streets. They may have some commie militia or something like that to arrest you. Go to a safe place for a few days. Maybe go to a hospital or Whitechapel. Make yourself useful for once by checking if you've got any business that could be settled over there. When the situation's calmer, I'll set a wet boot boy so that you know to come back. In a wiener. I'm sorry that I gave a criminal an Irish accent.
Good evening, Nurse Brent.
Good evening.
Goodbye now.
Hey, Doc.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'd be surprised if you managed to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
A lucky charm. I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Now we're going to reach Whitechapel. So let's try and get to Whitechapel, shall we? Have a look as well. Can I not look at my abilities until I'm rested? Because if we really say, maybe you guys can help me about this if you type in the comments. Basically, what I want to know is how do I find my abilities before I rest to spend money on them, or experience points on them. Shit. So I have to use a bit of stealth here to get around.
Human! Kill it! What is it? Shit! You'll pay for that! Kill you! Finish it!
Alright. Oh, okay, this is bad. Okay, maybe we need to level up a bit. Join the ranks. Guard the freedom of us all. Join the Royal Fleet today. Would you like to know more? Let's get the nearest recruiting office. Don't dare to open inside. It happens. It happens. I think it happens a bit too often in this game, more than I would like. Right, let's see if we can do this without using any. I like how the rats run around panicked when you pick one of them to feed. Influenza, frequently complicated with pneumonia. Then you get Spanish flu, stay at home.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol. It's closed. Best turn of
No stamina.
Christ, he's dead!
Oh, well, that is a named character. That's enough. One heal, thank you. Heal, heal, heal. Damn it, ate that, didn't I? Shit. Way too bad. Shit again. I don't know why I'm looking more at my own character than I am. looks, he's actually able to deny the stun attack. Oh. Excuse me, while I check the time. Yeah, we're still good. Right. Yeah, so my big problem is that I'm not really... for some reason I'm spending more time looking at other characters than my own.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
In fact, this is a hideout, I might call it here. Really do find a safe refuge and maybe even investing some of these points. We might be able to get 2 of the big abilities for 1,600. Anything else? Is there something back here?
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Right, maybe we'll just
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What about your troubles?
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. It's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Not me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. If she's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye, young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Bloody hard, boy.
Well, here we are in Whitechapel. Before
You'll understand.
we continue, I will find a place to rest up.
I cannot enter.
So I'll look around.
Joe, please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind. Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another. Oh, please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. Show me what you have.
See anything mandatory? No. Okay. Okay, right. I will sort all these. I will talk to all these people. I will sort everything out. But right now I do need to find shelter. Or otherwise...
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
First, Harry, I'm going to loot your house. I'm a doctor, so you'll have to trust me.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
I'm afraid so, but I can concoct. I can cock up something. I can concoct up something. You can take it all away. I can make some morphine out of shillings. A job refusal letter. The contents of this locked chest. Alright, we'll read this and then I'll have to start looking at finding shelter to take a break. Professional vampire does. If you ever suspect someone to be a vampire, don't try to kill it yourself. You have no chance. Instead, contact me or try to inform a professional vampire killer. These men and women are rare, but they know what to do against these evil creatures. It even seems that some of them are working together in the name of the Guard of Prywin, a paramilitary organization dedicated to the eradication of vampires in London. They are your friends. You are not alone. Solutions exist. Be smart, spread the word. Clarence Fossey. More information, please contact me directly. Ooh.
Alright.
A job refusal letter. Dear Mr. Peterson, it is my duty to inform you that our refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for the time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation with your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife. But it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company, which explicitly reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your ultimate connections to the ill-famed wet boot boys have been duly noted. These are hard times, sir, and Finch and Harper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy, and may God be with you and your family. Sincerely, R.D. Harper. Once again. And I am back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's carry on. Oh, I'm a bit relieved now I've had a whittle. So yes. Let's go on out and try and find ourselves some shelter. We can probably just actually do more of the main quest, which will in turn get us our shelter, I would hope. Sorry rats, but I do need you.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
What I needed is like a widget or some sort of counter. Every time it says I have this thirst for blood. To be honest, he actually does say it a lot better than I originally thought he would.
So you only hurt people because you care about me? Is that it?
Don't be such a brat. I do what I must to provide us with food and medicine, that's all.
Mum would never have let you bully an old friend like Mr. Lewis. Shame on you.
Harry, I'm your father and I love you. But don't you ever speak to me like that again.
What? You're gonna beat me too?
Jesus. Give me patience.
So we've uncovered a bit more.
It's locked, all right.
So we can't get into the shelter just yet. Let's see what's following by this trail of blood leads. Christ, it's a mess. I mean, ignoring the fact it's Whitechapel, but it's some pretty good loot now. We really must look at raiding things. I don't. fact, I think we are actually coming up to a hard opponent soon. I'll make a treatment fatigue. Have a look at who needs what treatments. Fatigue, migraine, fatigue. So 2 fatigue, 3 fatigue, 4 fatigue. Make a migraine I haven't got yet. Do I operate now? I can't operate now because I still miss one part. How about my steak? If I grow my steak, it doesn't require that much. Stun points or decreases stamina consumption. It's not decreasing it enough to justify it, so I'd rather go for the increased stun. Is it worth putting the gun? No. Oh, hold off that for the time being. Yeah, we'll just go back inside. Fill up, let's... No, I don't want to rest just yet. I'd rather actually make it out of Whitechapel and get back to town if I can. The hospital before I go any further. Oh, do I have to go back? Oh, do I have to get to that room though? Okay, so the main quest is telling me that I don't have to go any further into the house. Okay, let's keep looking for loot. I haven't really got any gaming news for you. It's none that I particularly want to talk about. I want to make a bit of an objective for myself to be a bit more positive. I can't take the mental toll of just reading negative news all the time, and I tried having that burden, taking that burden upon myself to, you know, spread the word of bad news and things like that. If it means that bad industry practice gets exposed and whatnot, but I honestly, I'm too tired. I will say that Accursed Farms' legal actions and ideas seem really good. He has really thought this out about what can be done about Ubisoft and the games. And the thing is that he's doing it properly. Like, he's not just doing like change.org. He is doing things like government petitions. He's looking at each country's copyright protection laws and things like that, and you know what you can do to protect yourself. That's really good.
I cannot enter.
I think stuff like that is very important and absolutely should be shouted from the rooftops. So yeah, I accept that I can't really do much to change the industry. Maybe if my audience grows, yeah, sure. But I don't think it's going to grow by constantly being negative. And I know a lot of grifters can make a lot of money from doing that.
Answer to all your problems.
Stealing drugs from us.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reid.
You don't seem well, Benjamin.
I give
You
him
need any help?
treatments.
I
perhaps
always
he'll be more
feel ill,
forthcoming.
sir. It's like I'm never right.
I will see you.
He's migraine treatment.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
The reason why I didn't say you shouldn't be ashamed is because he didn't say anything about being ashamed.
A gun, alcohol.
He's got fatigue, we can help him.
How are you?
I'm not your boy.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lappy.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ding! Or rather, the World of Warcraft one. Ding! Gratsmon! Never have I been so glad to see a bin all my life. Than Vampyr. You'll do. Yes, I know I said I'd get some respect. It's just to be a bit of combat. I do actually quite like the combat, to be honest. It's nice and it's fairly casual. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory comment. It's genuinely. I'm perfectly fine with saying casual. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I honestly, I feel myself getting older. I'm not
Sorry, sir, no one died, Vermin!
terrible, but like I think it's just more like I suppose getting older is like getting more mature. I think it's just like getting too tired, like the old angry video game sort is like out of me. Gotta have a system in the teens and whatnot. Quarantine, contagious disease. No one shall enter or leave the quarantine area without written permission of the local health authority. No person except an authorized employee of the health district shall answer, destroy, or remove this card. Anyone violating this regulation will be fined. Quarantine influenza. Keep out of this area. By order of their Board of Health officer. John T. Johns. I think, I'm not sure.
It's locked.
It's Garm's journalism. So yeah. Prevent the disease. We've seen that one. Yeah. So yeah, like that sort of fights out of me. I just want to try and just chill out and enjoy games for fun. I think after like my rant in the Pillars of Eternity, I was like, I ain't got the time or patience with it anymore. Yeah. It's like I leave it to other people. Yeah. And I can't do it. It's like I even tried once to like milk the negativity. Like there's some YouTubers out there, like, cause I've been following 40k lately, and there's YouTubers out there who have made it their job to hate like Games Workshop, for example. I mean they say it a lot. It applies to a lot of companies. And so at that point, like, people do ask. He's just blood magic. I'm not going to go up against him. I might be able to, but I'd rather not. No, he's resistant to shadow magic. And I haven't really got any other abilities, so... Scrap that. Okay, it seems to be back in safe territory. Let's crack on with the main quest then. But yeah, but the thing is, like, when people ask me, well, why, at that point, why do you keep playing the game? Why do you keep engaging with the hobby? And it's not because, oh, it's important, I'm doing a public service. It's like, no, because I'd be out of business otherwise, you know? And hey, at the end of the day, it works, you know, like, look, am I making money from my videos? Christ, no. So, at the end of the day, who's the wanker?
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
It's locked, all right. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. No one's there.
Just wonder if I could go in. Okay. So we will come back to this.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
come back to this later. For the time, I need to take a break. But yeah, we'll continue with the main quest, and do what we can. Let's have a look for some more junk. Oh, shite. But yeah, I'm hoping I'll be playing a bit more tomorrow as well. We'll see. Because I'm making good progress on my other projects. But this is a nice thing to do during the day. And I'd like to get more stuff done during the time that I have before I'm back at work. But yeah, if you guys want to ask me any questions about anything at all, I always encourage people to ask in my Let's Plays, you know, ask me anything. About anything. And I can talk about it. Hello. Flower bouquet with a voucher for a free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. Okay, so that's about someone else.
It's locked.
And another one. Level 14, yep, we are way too low leveled, so I'm gonna have to start leveling up, I think. But that can wait until next time. But yeah, just thank you ever so much for watching. Call it there for the time being. I hope that we'll continue making progress, and I'm sure when we level up next, there'll be lots of upgrades that we can take, and we can really start to stand a chance against enemies. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Stay for now.